No matter what happens, and no matter where this player's career ends up going, I will always have fond memories of Jesse Puljujarvi and the one amazing quote that he said during that post-game interview one day. "I only shoot and score. Then you score, then will come." Today is a sad day for all Jesse Puljujarvi fans around the NHL. Because, as posted by Elliot Friedman and Frank Saravelli, Jesse Puljujarvi is on unconditional waivers today for the purposes of a mutual contract termination. Let's dive into both of these tweets and talk about some of the responses to this. Here's a fan from Calgary saying that they think that the Flames should go out there and sign this guy. Makes sense with Sullivan hating him for no good reason. Tampa Bay Lightning, okay, we'll see if he ends up getting claimed by the Bolts. Not surprising, Puljujarvi has been up and down between the AHL and the NHL. It was bound to happen. We had some other people asking, okay, is he getting picked up? Let's vote, I'm going to vote no. 62% of the 1,622 votes here are saying that Puljujarvi does not get claimed. I thought Jesse showed he can still contribute at an NHL level. The Pens at least put him on waivers to give him a chance with another team. I'm surprised nobody wanted to take a chance. Hopefully he lands somewhere to continue his career. Another Dubas move that never worked. He's signing with Florida or Tampa. Bigger bust than Yakupov. He's repeatedly gotten the opportunity to play with some of the best players in history. Some guys never seem to get to the next level. And you know what? That's actually a pretty good perspective. We're going to bookmark that and keep that in our subconscious. This is the other tweet here. Friedman said, yeah, everyone yesterday cleared. I know he hasn't been playing well, but killing him feels a bit extreme. To terminate. Okay, yeah, that's exactly what's going on there. Is that the Terminator? Ay, ay, ay. Lots of tweets going out here talking about Puljujarvi and his career. And to be honest, this isn't really a surprising development when you acknowledge where Puljujarvi has been this season, what he has tried to do, and just the overall body of work that he's had. 26 years old, 6'4", 201, right-handed guy. The reason Puljujarvi is even popular is because he was a 4th overall pick 9 years ago in 2016. Might I remind you, this was a guy who, in most people's minds, was a 3rd overall caliber guy. That 2016 draft featured Matthews, Laine, and Puljujarvi, and that was the 3-headed monster. Everybody was looking at Matthews and the crazy production he had in the Swiss League, and they're like, okay, yeah, this is a franchise-altering, game-changing, goal-scoring center, and he's going to go 1st overall. Number 2 and number 3, you've got Puljujarvi and Laine interchangeable, because in that 2015-16 World Junior run, yeah, you're taking a look at this. These underage guys who were draft-eligible led the tournament in scoring. Puljujarvi, Laine, and Aho. Aho was drafted, of course, the year before in 2015, so he was already drafted by Carolina. But Puljujarvi and Laine put themselves on the map by outproducing Austin Matthews. And for Puljujarvi, he had more assists on this tournament than anyone outside of Team Finland had points. 12 assists for Puljujarvi, 17 total points versus Austin Matthews and Matthew Tkachuk, who had 11 points on the tournament. The only guys outside of Team Finland to be near the top of the point production race. So to see this go down the way it did, Puljujarvi was everything you needed out of a big winger, a playmaking guy, two-way reliable force, and he was drafted 4th overall because of it. Pierre-Luc Dubois ended up going 3rd overall to Columbus, even though Jarmo Kekalainen was already projected to be taking the remaining of the 2 fantastic Finns. But Puljujarvi went over to Edmonton. He played with Connor McDavid, had a weird career with the Oilers, was not really given too much of an opportunity early on, was sent down to the AHL a few times, and then yeeted back over to Finland, where he was a stud for Karpat in 2019-20. Eventually, he returned with Edmonton, had some pretty decent hockey there too. His second stint with the Oilers was filled with a year where he was actually pretty reasonably good, and his defensive play off the puck was seen as one of the best in the team. Eventually, though, it didn't work out. He found himself in Carolina. Then he had signed with Pittsburgh. Last season, he had 4 points in 22 games. This season, he had 9 points in 26 games and 3 points in 4 Wilkes-Barre-Scranton games. And now he's on waivers for the purpose of mutual contract termination. Let's go out there and see what some Penguins fans are saying about this transaction and the move. My guess is that he goes to Europe. No other team in the NHL wanted him when he was waived. I'm not sure why so many Pens fans are enamored with him. There's things about his game that make AHL guys look silly, namely his speed, but he makes the same mistakes that he does in the NHL. Nothing horrendous, but enough that you go, Jesse, what the hell, dude? He's a good player, but he's in that NHL AHL rut at 27, and that usually means it's time to go to Europe. Please part ways with Sullivan. I think this is good for Puljujarvi. Now he's going to be able to look for a chance on a team that actually plays him. I wish him the best. He's had that chance on like 5 teams now, and he also had that chance when he was on waivers. He's just not good. I like Jesse, but his two-way game is majorly limiting him in this league, which is a really interesting criticism, because back in the day, that was highlighted as one of the best parts of his game, that he had this solid two-way power forward-like frame, especially off the puck, and even in Edmonton a few years ago, he was one of the better analytical players on the team. So seeing this criticism be put out there, it is kind of interesting in my opinion. Yeah, maybe he goes to Europe, who knows, still wish him the best. That may be on another continent. He's had plenty of chances to prove himself. 87 and 71 not in the lineup, and they're still terminating Puljujarvi's contract. He cleared waivers multiple times. If you have a hard-on for him, that's fine, but he's just not NHL material. If another team wanted to give him that chance, they would have done it for nearly league minimum salary for free. All 31 teams passed on doing that. He sucks. I like Jesse Puljujarvi, and I'm sorry that it didn't work out with him with our Penguins. However, before we go on about Sully not playing him or not liking him or whatever, let's consider the fact that he has been on waivers. That means 31 other teams could have taken him in his modest contract without sacrificing anything in return. All of them said no thanks. Maybe, just maybe, hockey folks see challenges in his game that us regular fans are missing. Maybe, just maybe, Puljujarvi's game has never reached the tempting potential that Edmonton saw when they drafted him. Maybe, just maybe, the hip surgeries that have ended the careers of other talented players took something away from him. Maybe, oh, you get the idea. My point is, when 31 other teams pass on the chance to add a player free and don't do it, then the player's challenges extend beyond the decision of a single coach and the franchise. So everybody, blaming Sullivan for not playing a borderline bottom 6 player, yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. Get a life. 4th on the team in 5 points per 60, by the way, which is an interesting way to dive into it. This is also the same argument that a lot of Oilers fans back in the day were bringing up, saying, hey, this guy's so good analytically, he's got to be played more, which I do think there was a period in Puljujarvi's time at Edmonton, especially where he was playing well analytically, that he was playing with Draisaitl. If I get that wrong, then hey, any Oilers fans, feel free to correct me in the comment section below. But it seems like Jesse Puljujarvi's career in the NHL is over, unless he signs another contract with a different team, which he's probably not going to. He was already waived once. He was cleared once too. Doesn't seem like anybody wants this guy for the ripe old dollar amount of $800,000. Seems like he's going to be going over to Europe, and that is all she wrote. So I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What really happened with Jesse Puljujarvi? What went wrong in his game? And what do you think happened with his game at the NHL level that didn't allow him to exhibit success like we thought he would have been able to? At his peak, back in 2016, I think the ceiling that people were labeling for Puljujarvi was like a 75-point guy who can just do really good things off the puck, a big body who can get a lot of assists and just score maybe 20 goals a year too. But obviously he didn't do that, so I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Where did it go wrong with Puljujarvi? I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.